Good morning, children. I hope everyone are fine, right? So, in the last class, we completed that is a fourth chapter, right? That is a linear equations in a two variables. Okay, so that we completed even exercise that is 4.4 is the last exercise of this last chapter. So, we completed fourth chapter in the last class only. Today, we are going to discuss about the chapter number 5, that is a introduction to Euclid's geometry. Okay, chapter number 5. Chapter number 5, introduction to Euclid's geometry. Okay, introduction to Euclid's geometry. What are the things they given here? Read properly. Okay, so from the starting from the introduction only. Open your textbook. Introduction I am reading. Okay, I am giving an explanation about that one. Whatever they given here things. Okay, so read thoroughly everything. That is nothing but see here. That is the word geometry comes from the Greek word, that is geo meaning is the earth and material meaning is the to measure. Okay, geometry is it is including a two terms. Okay, so it is including a two terms that are the geo and material. Geo means what? Geo means earth and material means to measure. Geometry is nothing but that is earth measuring. Okay, so that is we are learning in the in geometry. And it will be a sum they given here, that is introduction part will be the that is the about the all the about the that is a mathematician, that is a Thales. And after they given here, after Thales, that geometry will be extended by the this Euclid. Okay, so he is called as the what? Father of the geometry, that is called as the, who is called as the father of geometry, that is a Euclid only. Okay, so because he did many achievements in a geometry part, that's why he is the father of the geometry. And next one is a Euclid's definition and axioms and postulates they given here. Okay, so that is a he given us some definitions and axioms. Axiom means which is not having any proof, that statement is true, like that. That is called as the axioms. And next one is the postulates. Postulates means here that is also like a definition only. Okay, so what they given here, see, that is the first one. A point is that which has no part, right? A point which has a no part. Any part is there for a point? No part, only it is a single dot, that is called as the point, right? So it is having a no part. Second one, a line is a breadthless length, of course, right? See here, this is a line and it is not having any breadth. Okay, so only it is a having a length, it is not having a breadth. So a line is a breadthless length. Okay, next the ends of the lines are the points, right? So here this is the one line and these are the end points, means these are called as the at the line end should be always a points only. Of course this is a point and this is a point, so the line end should be points. And what is the 4 point here the given? The straight line is a line which lies evenly with the point on itself. Okay, the straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. Okay, a straight line is a line evenly the point on itself. Okay, so that is called as the straight line. Next one is a surface is that which has the length and breadth only. Okay, means if a surface means what, it is having a some length and some it is having a breadth, that is only. And the edges of the surface are the lines only, of course, right? See here, this is the one surface means the edge means this one, this is the edge. Edge means it's the last part of that one. So edge is always what? That is a line only. So the edge part of the surface is always it is a line. Next point is a plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. Okay, so the plane surface is also lies evenly, the straight line lies on itself. Here these are the straight line lies on itself. So these lines are lies on the surface only, like that. Okay, so here if you carefully study this definition, you find some terms like a length, breadth, etc. So need to be further explained clearly. For example, the given here that, and next one is a some Euclid's axioms are there. Last, so these 1 to 7 points are, that is the definition I told till now. Now I am telling the Euclid's axioms. Okay, what are the Euclid's axioms here? That is, first one is a things which are equal to the same thing are equal to the one another. The things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another, right? So if here I am saying that is a see, that is 3 is equal to 3. This 3 is equal to this 3 and this 3 is equal to this 3. That is the meaning of that sentence. Okay, if one thing is equal to another one, that another thing is also equal to this one, like that. Okay, so if the things are which are equal to the same thing are equal to the one another. Okay, next point, if equals are added to the equals, then wholes are also equal. Okay, so if equals are added to the equals, equals are added to the equals means this only. See here, these are the equals. Already these are the equals, right? So if you are added to equal to the equals, if you are adding a equal to the equals, equal to the means another equal I am doing, that is 2 equal to 2. Now add here. Here also 2, add here also 2. Okay. So again what you will get? That is the equal only. This is called as the equal, right? So if you add a equals to the equals, you will get another equal only, like that. Next, fourth one. What is the fourth one here? The things which coincides with the one another are equal to the one another. The things which coincide with the one another, that are the equal to the one another. Coincide means both are same, like that. So they are both are the equal. That is the meaning of that sentence. Next, fifth point. What is the fifth point they given here? The whole is greater than the part. The whole is greater than the part. Of course, see here, usually this is 2, 3, 4, 5, all these numbers are called as the whole numbers. Part means what? This is a 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and 4 by 5. These fractions are called as the part. Usually fractions is nothing but it's a part, right? So here we are having the whole numbers. The whole is always greater than the part. Of course, the whole is always greater than this fraction. That is the meaning of that sentence. Okay, that is the which one? Fifth one. Okay. Now go to the sixth one. What is the sixth one here? Things which are double of the same things are equal to the one another. The things which are double of the same things. The things which are the double of the same things means, see, this is the same thing. 3 is equal to 3 and double of this means 6 is equal to 6. Like that. Okay. So double of these things are also equal. They are saying like that. And seventh one, the things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. See here. This 3 is equal to 3. This is a one thing. And half of this means 1 by, this is a 3 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2. Again you are getting a equal only, right? So the things which are half of the same thing, that are also equal to one another. That is the meaning of that sentence. Okay. So these common notions refer to the magnitude of some kind. The first common notion. So these are some axioms given by the Euclids. Okay. Next here, they given here postulates. Euclid's 5 postulates. What are the first postulates? See here. Page number, open page number 82. I am giving only explanation. Here only explanation is there. Nothing is there to do the problem here. So just listen the explanation properly. Okay, open page number 82. In that they given a Euclid's 5 postulates. Okay, I told first Euclid's definitions, and next one I told Euclid's axioms. Okay, now I am going to give the, that is a Euclid's 5 postulates. Okay, Euclid's 5 postulates. See, in that Euclid's 5 postulates, that is a straight line may be drawn from the any one point to any other point. Okay, first postulate is a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. Right? A straight line may be drawn from one point to any other point. It's a one postulate. And next one is a, that is a axiom 5.1 they given here. Given two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. Okay, so figure, observe that figure, you will come to know that one. And next postulate 2 is, what is the postulate 2 here? That is a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Okay, so usually this is already terminated. Terminated means it is having a end points, two end points it is having. Okay, so that is called as the line. So what is the line segment here? This is a line segment. What is the line here? Line means it is not having any ends. Okay, so this is a line segment and it is having a two end points. That is the meaning of a terminated. Terminated means it should contain the two end points. That is the meaning of the termination. Okay, so here this is having a two end points here and it can be extended indefinitely. We can't extend definitely. Definitely means we can produce like this line. Indefinitely means you have to write here a dotted lines. Okay, these are the dotted lines. Like this you have to extend. Okay, so this dotted line indicates that it is a indefinitely. Indefinitely. Okay, so this dotted line indicates the indefinitely. Okay, next one is a, go for the postulate 3. What is the postulate 3 here? A circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Of course, we know that one, right? So a circle can be drawn with any radius and with any center. We can take any point as a center and we can draw the circle with some radius. Okay. And next postulate 4. That is, all right angles are equal to one another. Of course, all right angles are equal to one another. Say here also one right angle, here also one right angle. Okay. So this is a C angle, this is a D and this is a E. So all angles are equal here. Angle C is equal to angle D is equal to angle E. All angles are here equal only, right? So angle C is equal to angle D is equal to angle E, because all are 90 degree only. So that's why all the 90 means all the right angles are equal to one another. These are the equal to one another. That is the meaning of that postulate 4. Okay. Next postulate 5. If a straight line falling on a two straight line, see here, read properly the sentence. Okay, it will be a lengthy. If a straight line falling on a two straight lines and makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, and then the two straight lines if produced indefinitely then meet on that side on which the sum of the angles is less than the two right angles. Okay. Here, what is the meaning of that postulate? Postulate 5. The given diagram also. See postulate. postulate phi here. In that we are having a postulate phi, that is the C. What is the meaning of the given? The given an example. Observe that example. And this one is a, and here point P, it is B, this one is A, and here this one is a B, and this point is a C, and this point is a D, okay, and this one is a Q. This is two angles. What they given here? For example, the line PQ, this line PQ falls on the lines AB and CD. Okay, we are having here a AB and CD are the two lines, and one more line is a PQ. The PQ line is falls on the this AB and CD, right? See here, this PQ line is falls on the AB line and CD line. We are having a two lines, that is the AB and CD, and the PQ line is falls on the AB and CD such that the sum of the interior angles 1, 2 is less than the 180. See here, these angles, okay, sum of the interior angles is less than 180 degree, okay, on the left side of a PQ, on the left side of a PQ, and therefore the lines AB and CD will eventually intersect on the left side of a PQ. Okay, see here, because of these two, see usually what is the theorem is that sum of the interior angle should be always is equal to 180 degree. These are called as the interior angles. Okay, when that these two lines should be always, this AB and CD should be always parallel. If these two lines are parallel, then only that interior angle, sum of the interior angles is always 180 degree. But here, these are not a parallel. Observe here, whether these are a parallel, this line is like this. Here, only small distance is there, here like distance is there. Means it is not a parallel. Here AB and CD are not at all parallel. And the one line is falls only these two lines and making a two interior angles here, and we are getting here this angle, this sum of the two interior angles is less than 180. If it is less than 180 means this A and C somewhere it will, if we extend like this, somewhere at a point, that is I'll take as R, somewhere at a point R, this AB and CD line are intersects. Okay, that is the meaning of this postulate phi. What they given, once again read that postulate phi. If a straight line falling on a two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than the two right angles, then two straight lines if produced indefinitely meet on that side on which the sum of the angle is less than the two right angles. Okay, so we are getting here sum of the interior angles is less than 180 degree. It means these two lines, that is the AB line and CD line, if you extend that one indefinitely, then those two lines will meet at some point R. That is the meaning of the postulate phi. If these two are not meeting at any point, means these should be always parallel, and this sum of the two interior angles will, you will get a 180 degree. Here we are getting a less than 180 means of course these two lines will meet at some point R. Okay, so that is the meaning of the postulate phi. Okay, next what they given here, that is given us some example one, that is a, observe the example one, page number 83. Observe the example one, that is if A comma B and C are the 3 points on a line and B lies between the A and C. Okay, then prove that AB plus BC is equal to AC. Okay, so see here, A, B, C are the 3 points on a line, and we need to show that AB plus BC is equal to C. Of course, the line is like this. This is a point A and this is a point C and middle one is here a B. We need to show that AC is equal to AB plus BC. Sorry, BC. Okay. By seeing the line, we can say that one. ABAC is equal to AB plus BC. Right? But how we have to prove this one? We need to prove here using axioms and definition and as well as the postulates. We can prove this one. See here in the figure given, this one, the AC coincides with the AB plus BC, and also Euclid's axioms 4 say that the things which coincides with the one another are equal to the one another. So it can be reduced to this equation. Okay. So right here, according to the axiom 4, according to the axiom 4, we can say that this one is equal like this. Okay. So next one we are having a, what is that one? Okay, like that example 2 also observe. And next one, theorem 5.1 they given here. Two distinct lines cannot have a more than one point in a common. Two distinct lines cannot have a more than one point in a common. So here we are given a two lines, that is a L and M. We need to prove that they have only one point in a common. It is for the time being, let us suppose that the two lines intersect in a two distinct points, say P and Q. So you have two lines passing through the two distinct points P and Q. But this assumption is clashes the axiom that only one line can pass through the two distinct points. One line can pass through the two distinct points, but there will be a, and the assumption that we started with, that is the two lines can pass through the two distinct points. It's a wrong only. So from this we can conclude that the two distinct lines cannot have a more than one point in a common. Okay. So here it is the meaning means, see, here we are having the two lines means this is the another line. Okay, so this is another line and this is another line. Here only one common point for all the lines, right? So if you are taking a common point for all the lines, then it should be always only one point only. Okay, there should be no two common points for a two lines. There is always one common point for a two lines when they are intersecting. Okay, so that is the meaning of that theorem. Okay, so in the next class we'll solve the exercise number 5.1, and before that I'll send a one PDF file. Okay, in the next class I'll send, it is a chapter number 5. I'll send, that is the definitions and axioms and postulates, that will write it in a CW, and after that solve the exercise number 5.1. Okay, so first write that PDF in a CW, 5th chapter. I will write and send in a WhatsApp, that will write it in a CW, and after that we'll solve the exercise number 5.1. Okay. So till that, be safe in your home. Okay. Thank you everyone.